Bubba Ho-Tep has got to be one of the most uniquely named movies that I've ever watched. And it stars the GOAT, Bruce Campbell. Let's get it? Let's wrap up Mummy Month with something just a little different. So Elvis is alive and well. Okay, he's not the real Elvis, just an impersonator. Or is he? More on that in a minute. For now, Elvis does a lot of self-reflection. There isn't much else to do in a nursing home after all. He's getting old. His family thinks he's dead. And worst of all...
How could I have gone from the king of rock and roll to this? Old guy in a rest home in East Texas with a growth on his pecker.
Before we can get to Bubba Ho-Tep, first we get to see his creepy bugs. Not really sure why. I guess it's just part of being a mummy. You get scarab powers.
Man.
When we finally do get our first glimpse, he's wearing a pimp hat. Okay, so what's up with the whole Elvis getup? Everyone knows that he died on the toilet. Well, this movie leaves it open to interpretation. But to the nurses, he's Sebastian Haff, the world's greatest Elvis impersonator. However, he says that he's just impersonating himself. Confused? Well, the real Elvis got tired of all the fame and drugs and money and wanted to calm down. So he reached out to Sebastian and they agreed to switch lives. Except Sebastian couldn't handle his drugs like the king and he died. The real Elvis lived on, doing smaller shows as an impersonator until he fell off the stage and ended up in a coma for 20 years. Bing, bang, boom, pow. That's how he ended up where he is now. But he's not the only one at the home that's confused on who he is. There's also Jack, who believes he's John F. Kennedy. Yes, I understand your confusion. He says that Lee Harvey Oswald missed, and they dyed him black. So that makes sense? In the middle of the night, Jack wakes up Elvis to show him something. Someone vandalized the bathroom with hieroglyphics. It roughly translates to the Pharaoh gobbers donkey goobers, and Cleopatra does the nasty.
Say what?
That's not even the worst part. Jack saw the mummy walking around, and it feeds on your soul, taking it from whatever orifice it can suck it through. Most commonly, the butt. So we have a mummy stumbling around sucking souls out of butts. But why a nursing home? Well, there's no better place. An old person's soul isn't really that filling, but they're an easy target, and no one bats an eye when a 90-year-old dies. They're simply replaced with someone else, an infinite source of souls for Bubba Ho-Tep. There's some more attacks, some more self-reflection, but finally they figure out how an ancient Egyptian mummy found its way to East Texas. It was part of a traveling show, hopping from museum to museum in its sarcophagus, until one night some guys stole it and accidentally wrecked into the river next to the home. The sarcophagus opened, freeing the mummy, and now he roams the nursing home halls looking for his next victim. I guess the sarcophagus was the tomb, kind of the curse keeping him at bay. Now that it's washed away, they're in trouble.
Elvis Presley Movie Marathon.
Can an aging Elvis step up to the plate and be the hero that he plays in all of his movies? Can he defend the only thing he has left, the nursing home and his friends? Well, he certainly thinks so. Armed up with only a spray bottle of flammable liquid, the duo step outside and prepare for a fight, which doesn't take long. Unfortunately, Jack, or JFK if you will, doesn't make it, leaving it all up to Elvis, who attacks head on, both flying over a cliff down to the water's edge. It's looking like it's all over for the king of rock and roll. But then he musters up the strength to douse Bubba Ho-Tep, lighting him on fire. Which seems to break the curse, and Elvis dies, saying his signature line.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And that was Bubba Ho-Tep, the movie where Elvis stops a mummy in a nursing home. What a weird sentence. And all I have to say, it is certainly unique. I like how the movie tried to be horror, but still didn't take itself too seriously. For example, to show the passage of time, it's actually pretty creepy. Also, the walls are all dirty and grimy. This nursing home could use a fresh coat of paint. But it all adds to the creep factor. Speaking of which, the mummy is actually pretty scary. Well done to the makeup department. It's up to you if you believe that this is really Elvis or Sebastian. For me personally, I like the story and say, sure, he's Elvis. As for Jack being JFK, well, sure, why not? It makes it fun. Bubba Ho-Tep was directed by Don Coscarelli, who mainly wrote for the Phantasm series, so he knows what he's doing when it comes to B horror. There are some scenes that drag on a little too long for my liking, but I wouldn't say it ever gets boring by any means. If you're looking for a unique monster movie, then check out Bubba Ho-Tep. I give it 3 pimp hats out of 4.
Would you like a ding-dong? Oh, I don't mean mine. I mean a chocolate ding-dong. Of course, mine would be chocolate now that I have been dyed.